We're ready to start. Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry we're a few minutes late. Our previous closed session ran over just a little bit. So again, thank you for coming. If you have a cell phone, make sure it's on silent, please. Do we have a motion for certification from our closed session?
Good evening. Whereas the Franklin City School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas Section 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Franklin City School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Thank you, Dr. Hall Leonard. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion for certification signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. I believe we have two motions from closed session. Do we have a motion to accept the personnel agenda as presented?
Chair.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the personnel agenda as presented in closed session.
Thank you, Ms. Jester. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Do we have a motion to approve non-resident student 2018-4?
I make a motion that we approve the application for non-resident enrollment 2018-4.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. I believe S.P. Morton will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you stand, please?
This is Laverius and Jordan Majette leading S.P. Morton and Franklin City County City in the pledge.
Thank you. Roll call.
Rebecca Jester,
Present.
Amy Phillips,
Present.
Dr. Andrea Hall Leonard,
Present.
Marshall Williams,
Present.
Jessica Grant,
Present.
Robert Holt,
Present.
Carrie Johnson.
Present.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as listed?
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. We have no one signed up for citizens' time. We'll move to item 3, consent agenda, and we have minutes for 3 meetings: August 9th, August 16th, and September the 16th. We'll take a look at those.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the school board work session minutes for Thursday, August 9th, 2018.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve the minutes for Thursday, August 9th, 2018, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the school board meeting minutes for Thursday, August 16th, 2018.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve the minutes for Thursday, August 16th, 2018, signify by saying aye. Opposed, no.
Abstain.
We have one abstention. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I have a question about the minutes on Thursday, September 6th.
Okay.
In item number 4, on page 3,
Okay.
the first full paragraph, when it's talking about Miss Edmond, mentioning that the school division does not have any students at this time in the division who are special needs physically. I think she was just referring to SP Morton, not the entire division. When we were
Excuse me,
discussing.
Ms. Johnson, tell me
Yeah.
where you are again.
Okay, the school board work session minutes for Thursday, September 6th, 2018. Page 3,
Hold on, let me get, okay, with you.
okay? The paragraph that
You
begins
said
with,
4?
yes, item number 4, but it's
Mhm.
on page 3.
Gotcha.
We were discussing the playground equipment for special needs students. And Ms. Edmond advised that the division didn't have any students at SP Morton that were special needs physically, not in the entire division.
Is that Ms. Edmond here?
Ms. Edmond, is that correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Thank you.
At SP Morton, we don't have any students there that require special playground equipment because of physical disabilities or anything like that.
Right,
That is correct.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for bringing that up.
I don't see that sentence.
It's at the end.
Tell me
Very
where
last
you at.
sentence.
I just don't see it.
Last part of his last sentence. Yes,
She didn't say that we didn't have any entire division.
that instead of the division, it could be amended to say at SP Morton.
They recognized that there was a special needs swing, and that at this time, the division did not have any students who were special needs. I just didn't see it. So we would need to amend that. Mr. Chairman, I believe we will amend the motion. Who made that motion?
I don't think we've made
We haven't
it.
made it.
Yeah, we did. Okay. I move, Mr. Chairman, to approve the school board work session minutes for Thursday, September 6, 2018, with the correction.
Do we have a second?
2016.
2018, September 6th.
September 16 is what's in the agenda book.
The meeting was on the 6th.
The meeting was on the 6th.
It's the last of the three.
The agenda.
The
says-
agenda is six. I see what Mr.,
You're probably looking at the agenda, Mr. Williams, yes. But on the minutes, it actually says the 6th.
Then you're
Oh,
correct.
It's the
Okay.
6th instead of the
Yes.
16th, right?
So I move to approve the school board work session minutes for Thursday, September 6th, 2018, with the corrections.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving that motion with the correction signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Report of the superintendent, Ms. Sterling.
Thank you, Chairman Holt. Can you hear me? Thank you. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Grace Good, who is our new, is that okay? School Board Chair member. I'd like to read the recommendation that was submitted to me by her principal, Mr. Travis Phelps. Dear Ms. Sterling and school board members, I am writing this letter to recommend Grace Good, a rising senior at Franklin High School, to serve as the 2018-19 student representative to the Franklin City School Board. Grace is pursuing an advanced diploma from FHS and currently has a 3.5 grade point average. She is ranked number 7 in her class. Grace has participated in our overall volleyball program as both a player and bookkeeper. She is a member of our theater program and competed in the Region 1A theater competition last fall. Additionally, she represented Franklin High School at the 2018 Virginia High School League Leadership Conference at Buchanan High School in Richmond last spring. She is a member of the Superintendent's Advisory Board. Grace is a member of Upward Bounds, participates in the Gifted Program, and is a member of the FHS Book Club. She serves as the junior class president for the 2017-18 school year as part of the Student Government Association. Even though Grace is very busy with school and community activities, she still found time to work part-time at China Gardens as a server to help raise money for the March of Dimes and volunteers at church activities. Grace is highly respected by her peers, teachers, staff, and administration at FHS. She is extremely respectful, humble, and unassuming. She is passionate about what she believes in and is intrinsically motivated to be successful. I enthusiastically recommend Grace to represent our student body as the student representative to the school board for the 2018-19 school year. I know she will do a great job. This is Grace. Do you want to say any words? She's not ready.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps.
Welcome, Grace. Thank you.
Wonderful. Next, we're going to share some good news. We have our VSBA Media Honor Roll recognition. And at this time, we would like to recognize 3 individuals and companies for the jobs that they have done for Franklin City Public Schools and the media. Ms. Moore, will you be? They have their assignments. Okay. Can we go ahead on and proceed?
Okay, I'd like to read the resolution that we will present tonight.
Okay,
It's
hold on.
entitled 2018 Virginia School Board Association Media Honor Roll. Whereas In each community, the public schools are shaped by the community to provide the most appropriate and effective education for the school children who attend those schools. And whereas public schools are dependent on the community's support in countless ways, including support in setting goals for the education of our children and establishing successful volunteer and booster programs at the schools, for annual funding of operations, in periodic bond elections, in the election of qualified school board members, and whereas much of the community's knowledge and opinions about the public schools rely on responsible reporting by local media representatives who decide which news to share with the community, how much attention will be focused on various issues, and what the tone of the reporting will be. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Franklin City School Board place the name of WHRO-TV, the Tidewater News, WLQM, Real Country Radio 101.7 on the statewide VSBA Media Honor Roll, calling attention to the ongoing responsibility and exemplary nature of reporting of this community's public schools. We express our appreciation for your balanced and accurate approach to sharing with this community both the challenges facing our schools and the successes achieved by the students and teachers. Your work has aided this community in focusing on the goal of providing the best public schools we can for children who attend them. This resolution is adopted by the Franklin City School Board on the 16th of August, 2018. We voted on that last month. Congratulations to all of you.
We'd like to recognize for WHRO, Brian Callahan. Please come up if you're in the audience. Absolutely. All right. Mr. Clark with WLQM Radio. And we have Stephen Cowles from representing the Tidewater News.
I'm not taking that mic from me. Thank you for the honor. Didn't break.
If we can have all three honorees come back up and take a picture with the entire school board, we would greatly appreciate that.
We're a meeting organization. We can meet silence.
Okay. No, just tell us. Can they come down? Yeah. Right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We know about the staging stuff, television.
For you people new to school board meetings, the most difficult part is the picture-taking part.
Yes, and we have one more. We'd like to recognize one of our community superheroes for the Ascend Educational Enrichment Program. Ascend is a signature program of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which is designed to motivate, engage, and assist high school students in reaching their maximum potential. Ascend focuses on achievement, self-awareness, communication, engagement, networking, and developmental skills. Students in the Ascend program receive academic, cultural enrichment, global experience, life skills training to support their journey to college or vocational employment. Ms. Lavinia Sams Kenton coordinated the Ascend program at Franklin High School during the 17-18 school year. We are proud to recognize Ms. Sams Kenton as a superhero of Franklin City Public Schools and present her with a token of our appreciation. At this time, can you please come up and be recognized as one of Franklin's finest superheroes? At one time, she had almost the entire football team.
Yes, school board members, Dr. Sterling. It is a pleasure to accept this token of appreciation for our Ascend program for Lambda Psi Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha right here in Franklin, Virginia. As I'm sitting in the back looking around, I saw familiar names, but I've had lots of birthdays, so I'm not that good at recognizing lots of faces. But I see Mr. Holt is still here. I remember him because I'm a former employee of Franklin. And I enjoy coming back to Franklin. And I'll be back this year in some way or other. So on behalf of the Ascend team, thank you, just for allowing us to come into your school and do what we do best and what we love to do, and that is to work with students. Thank you.
Thank you again for all you do. We certainly appreciate it.
Now we'll move on to our student liaison report. Grace.
I just want to apologize if I make a mistake before I say anything. Franklin High School had a great opening week. Everything went according to plan. In my personal opinion, the atmosphere has greatly improved and I enjoy being at school. All right. Safety drills. 3 fire drills have been completed along with the bus evacuation drill. 2 lockdown drills will be completed by the end of the month of September. Class meetings. Senior, junior, sophomore, and freshman class meetings have been accomplished. Administration reviewed the student handbook and spoke on the one-to-one initiative, as well as sports eligibility and dress code. Class representatives have been recognized and introduced. Clubs and organizations are in the process of starting. Senior class information. Seniors have been informed on the graduation policies and graduation dates, as well as scholarship opportunities. Monday, September 10th, and Thursday, July 26th, senior portraits were successful. Sports. The Broncos football team has a 3-0 record. Okay. The Broncos volleyball team has a 3-5 record and in the process of improving. On September 7th, the first pep rally of the year, where the cheerleaders band and dance team performed outstandingly, along with the first home game against Colonial Beach, who we beat with a score of 26-44. The golf and cross country have officially been reinstated. Theater is preparing for their VHSL competition performance, which will be on November 3rd. Homecoming game is on Friday, September 28th, and the homecoming dance is on September 29th. Report for J.P. King Middle School. J.P. King Middle School had a great opening. Everything went smoothly, according to Principal Parker. Student accomplishments. The Plus One initiative has already begun. Students are working hard to achieve high school credits in art and gym. The 40-book challenge has started, and students are reading to meet the challenge. Parent and community participation. Community block party and open house were both a huge success. Administration is excited about parent and community participation. After-school programs. 21st Century program will begin October 3rd. Parents and Partners has been rescheduled from September 13th to September 27th. Report for SP Morton Elementary School. SP Morton Elementary School started out with a successful back-to-school bash, along with a back-to-school story via Facebook Live video. Parent participation. Open house was a success. Parents and students attended and had the opportunity to meet their assigned teachers before the school year officially started. Safety drills. Fire drills for the first 3 weeks have been completed. The first lockdown drill will be conducted this Friday. Building improvements. All hallways and teachers' lounge have been repainted with a beautiful luminous white color. So far, the beginning of the school year for each school of Franklin City Public School has been successful and shall continue to be so.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grace.
Next, we'll move on to our Human Resource and Administrative Services update by Ms. Gail Wade.
Good evening, Chairman Holt, Vice Chair Hall Leonard, board members, and Ms. Sterling and Franklin community. I wanted to update the board tonight on our current vacancies. We have 4 elementary teachers, 1 middle school math teacher, a building trades teacher, and an assistant principal position at Franklin High School still vacant. We do have long-term subs in each of those positions. Some of those positions, we're hoping that the license application is going to be approved by VDOE so that they will have a teaching license. And I'll keep you updated. Also, I wanted to report about the mandatory reporter training that all staff members participated in during our pre-service week, August 29th. This training was provided by representatives from the Department of Social Services, and this was a part of an agreement that we have with the Department of Social Services, and it provided a lot of information to all of our staff members about how to recognize child abuse and neglect and the procedures to go through in reporting that and the mandatory legal requirement to do so. So it was very informational. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we'll have Operations and Federal Programs. That will be Mr. Edwards.
Thank you, Ms. Sterling. Good evening to the Board of Education. I'd like to bring you up to date on corrective action plans. On the federal programs, we have our Title I Part A has been accepted. 21st Century Community Learning Centers at SP Morton and also J.P. King are scheduled to start on October 1st of this year. And as our nutritional service, we have closed out all items from the 2017-18 school year, and we received the credit for completion, and we have a remaining balance of $1,400 that we will be selling.
operations update. Dan, did you want to come do that, please? It's okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, this summer was a pretty productive summer. I mean, although the weather didn't cooperate with us that well, we had to work around that. There's some projects that are still trying to get done. One of them is the paving of Franklin High School and the bus loop. It's scheduled for the first weekend in October now. We've already been knocked back another week, so working on some of the, and we have some pictures of some of the projects we completed. Gym floors, and then in front of J.P. King Library, we had all those bushes and everything that had built up, so every time it rained real hard, the water running off the roof coming into the library, and we had to spend a large amount of money to get the carpets clean to avoid mold and stuff. So I think if we were going to have a problem, it would have already showed up. I think we got good drainage off that now, so we're in pretty good shape there. Now here's some of the pictures, and then we had a bunch of our curbing replaced, 160 foot, demoed and replaced at SP Morton. We have some others, I noticed some at JP King. We had one little one fixed, but I went around the back and see there's a couple more, but we'll get that next summer. And I think that's about all we have going on. I think there was some other things about a bunch of PMs we did. We did 2 PMs on I think 200 and some units. 150 of our PTAC units we replaced. We have an upgrade kit that we had to install a retrofit kit, and we installed that, and we're on track to get everything done, and everything's looking good. And if you have any questions, I'm here. No
I have a
questions?
question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you update the board on where we are with the Franklin High School repaving?
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to happen the first weekend in October.
Okay.
And if I know, another thing, we have the temporary lights up for the student parking lot. I don't know if everybody see them. They're awful bright. That's just the temporary. We're just waiting on the light fixtures to show up. They had to order those, so.
Excellent.
Right. And then
How
we-
long will it take to pave the parking lot?
They're gonna do over the weekend. So
Okay.
it's gonna be, we're trying to schedule, he said he only needs 2 days, so we're gonna see if he gets it done. If not, I might do a day that we have a Friday or a Monday where the students aren't there, so we can do that. Any
Are
other
you
questions?
going to do just the parking lot, or are you going to do
We're gonna do the parking lot and the bus loop.
in the bus loop?
It's
Will
gonna
that be
be
done at the
striped.
same time?
Yes, all one time.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's fine. Any other questions? Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you.
And I'd just like to, on the last slide, the operations update, the transportation fleet, with the addition of the new vehicles, the 2 caravans, and also the 2 Altimas, and our 4 new buses. And they are operating well and are very shiny. So, very well. And I'd like to update you on the Franklin Southampton Charities Grant and working with SP Morton, Mr. Griffin, Mr. Warren, and staff for the SP Morton Playground. And we are selecting the playground to have that equipment installed at SP Morton. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we'll keep moving forward with the curriculum and instruction report, and we have Ms. Burkhalter.
Good evening, School Board Chair, Vice Chair, members of the School Board, Superintendent Sterling, Dr. Geiger, staff and community. On August 28th, Franklin High School received approval to continue the Nurse Aid Educational Program. All documentation was turned in to the Virginia Nursing Board. On August 29th, we had a division-wide staff development at J.P. King for 1.5 hours. All facilitators were teacher leaders, in addition to one principal, Mr. Phelps, and he insisted on being a part of it, and we love that because we want our administrators to be instructional leaders. All follow-up with the professional developments have been done with sign-in sheets, agendas, and the work within the classrooms via the lesson plans. Any questions? Thank you. At this time, we'll have Norletta Edmonds come up and give us our special education update.
Good evening to everyone, School Board Chair, Mr. Holt, Dr. Hall Leonard, Vice Chair, Ms. Sterling, Superintendent, and members of the School Board. Again, good evening. I've come before you this afternoon to give you a brief, this evening to give you a brief update on the Special Education Department. Again, on, let me wait for you to get to it. I'm sorry. Oh. All right, I'm sorry, Rita. Okay. On August the 8th, I did a follow-up with the principals of the schools. They attended a student discipline boot camp that was facilitated by Reed Smith. And the commonality that all of the administrators brought back to me were these items here, meaning the new state regulations for suspension of kindergarten through third grade students, as well as long-term suspensions that are now 11 to 45 days. In addition, they also brought to me the attention, or that was a commonality for them, of interest for them, was the IDEA, the discipline of special education students. And short-term removal for special education students is up to 10 consecutive days, and long-term removal being more than 10 days, but with an established pattern. And also, to keep track of the pattern, they have a form that will be used in order to determine in the classroom if there's a pattern of discipline errors that are going on, to help determine whether or not a functional behavior assessment is needed, which leads on to the next area that we will talk about briefly. And on July 18th and 19th, several of us attended a professional development opportunity facilitated by Dr. Carol Butler, and we went over functional behavior assessments, what is needed in order to accurately assess student behaviors and to lead to a functional and effective behavior intervention plan. Have any questions? Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. The last part of our report is the back-to-school events overview. I would like to have all of our principals come up one by one and share with us your activities and your school year so far. First, we'll have SP Morton. That is Mr. Griffin, who is the new principal at SP Morton Elementary School.
Good evening. I'm not as practiced as everybody, but good evening, Chairman Holt, Assistant Chair, Vice Chairman, School Board, well, Sterling, and everyone else. I'm not to practice that. First off, we had a great time. We had a well-attended evening where all of our teachers were outside, welcoming, encouraging, smiling. It was a great relationship-building activity. We had these wonderful folks attend: the Sheriff Department, the Police Department, Smart Beginnings, the Health Department, the hospital, United Way, Kids Cat, Boys and Girls, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. We had all of our counseling agencies there. Two of my favorite things, and we have Mr. Smith to thank for this. We actually had a barber come out and give haircuts at the back-to-school bash for a lot of our young men. They're a little bit faster than our young ladies to get haircuts. And that was Nicole Monger. And then Mr. Anthony Wiggins could not attend, so he actually gave Mr. Warren 50 free haircut vouchers so they could go in and start the school year off fresh. It was really, really nice. I first want to give a big hand to Mr. Warren. He was tasked with putting this all together. He did an excellent job coordinating, communicating, setting up the fields. And then we had our wonderful teachers who did a lot of everything from cooking. We had Mr. Alston, Miss Collins, and Mr. Gary. They were our chefs extraordinaire. We had face painting. We had some wonderful folks. They handed out books, pencils, school supplies. We loved having them in there. As you can see, I think that's Miss Below in the other picture that was helping cook also. Mm-hmm. And if you scroll down, just the haircuts, and our wonderful police officers came around and really introduced themselves, made sure that they were not feared but friends as part of the community. And of course, it wouldn't be an activity outside if you don't have a kid doing a cartwheel in the middle of the field. But it was well done, and I want to thank Mr. Warren and every single one of my teachers that put it together. It was a nice job.
Would you like me to introduce you? Next we'll have J.P. Principal Parker.
Good evening to the board, Chairman Holt, Vice Chair Dr. Hall Leonard, Superintendent Ms. Sterling, and the rest of the school board. We've started off one of our theme for this year. If you go back to the other slide, our theme this year is change your thinking, change your future. Change your thinking, change your future. We have had so many different experiences with our babies over at JPK, where just motivating them and moving them forward and just letting them see a different light. And we've seen a big difference in a lot of our students in our building. I am up here with Ms. Marilyn Lawrence, our instructional specialist, Ms. Rosemary, she always gets me, Ms. Rosemary Bland, our math coach, Ms. Stephanie Cox, our reading specialist, and also Ms. Ruark, our director of 21st Century. As you know, we always do things as a team. That's why I'm not up here by myself, because I didn't do this all by myself. I have a very strong support staff over at JP King. We are definitely a family. We don't always agree, but we agree to disagree, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna get on with the PowerPoint. Back to school luncheon. At the beginning of the year, we had a back to school luncheon in our cafeteria sponsored by.
It was Fred's.
It wasn't Fred's. No, it wasn't. Dr. Hall Leonard, you were there. Mr. Holt, you were there. Who was it, Miss Sterling? Captain Bob's. And they always say, Mr. Parker's always getting.
It was Fred's at your school. At convocation.
It was Fred's. I'm so used to getting Captain Bob's. I'm sorry. It was Fred's restaurant right from downtown. And since I made that mistake, let me talk about Fred's. Because I definitely don't want to slight the Rabel family with Fred's. As you know, this year was the first year I haven't had total contact with our football team. I can remember in 2005, Mr. Rabel came to me, and he has sponsored the football team since 2005 with discounted dinners, pregame meals, and sometimes I go down there and he'll just tell me, Mr. Parker, you just go ahead, we'll find somebody to get it. So to Mr. Rabel and Fred's Restaurant and the Rabel family, I personally want to say in front of everybody, thank you for everything they've done. Yes, they sponsored our luncheon. I'm so used to messing with Captain Bob, so it's between Captain Bob's and Fred's, but he's done a great job over the years. And as you know, he's feeding 50 kids. We go down and we get 150 pieces of chicken from him, and sometimes he'll just tell me, Mr. Parker, just go ahead. So obviously, anytime we get a chance, please make sure we visit Fred's, because he's definitely donated to the football team, and not only the football team, to our babies here in Franklin. Next slide. Convocation, powerful convocation. We had a convocation over at the high school. We had obviously all three schools there. The theme for the day was superheroes. As you can see, we had a lot of superheroes throughout the district, not just at JPK, SP Morton, and Franklin High School. It was a very exciting day. It was a day where we truly saw three schools come together for one cause, and that's for our babies. So big kudos to all the three schools, and also central office staff, school board members, the mayor, he was there, city council members was there. So it was the Franklin family was there, so that was a great day for us. Community block party. We had a lot of parents show up for our community block party. We had a number of events going on that day, from yoga inside the auditorium to Ms. Wilson in the library with video games and technology. We had our live DJ there, Mr. Dontrell Rawls, who's a former graduate of Franklin High School. He DJ'd it for us. We had cornholes, basketball, and some of everything going on in the gym. We had art presentations going on where our teachers helped out also with community members. We had a lot of parents to show up. So it was a great day. It was a great day for everybody. And parents kind of had to pick and choose, because we had community day at all three schools at one time. So, so I think they did a fabulous job. Sometimes we may have had 25 people, and then we'll show up, we'll have 50 people, because half of them were over at SP Morton. But it was a great day for Franklin. Ms. Long.
Good evening to you all.
Good evening.
At our open house, we had 125 parents to show up. That's 56% of our school population. So that was very exciting for us because that number really was a high number for us this year. Many of our kids attended with relatives, and we got a lot of great remarks about our building and how wonderful it looked with our new paint and with our blue stripe running down the hall.
Oh, yeah.
And our 8th grade parents were excited about our +1 for PE and also for art and the introduction of Spanish 1 in our school. So it was an exciting day. It was wonderful to see the parents come out, and we have just continued with that flow in our school.
On the first day of school, we had a lot of community people coming to greet all the children and new teachers and old teachers, in a sense. It was a wonderful experience. They stayed outside, greeted every child, shook their hands. We had community members, we had church businessmen, and they came within the school, went to every classroom, visited to give their support to our school and our students.
Our opening week, well, opening a couple weeks, have been absolutely phenomenal. The kids have been very excited about everything that's going on. For reading, we have the 40-book challenge that we have initiated with all of our JPK families, so we happily extend that to you. If you want any of the information, I'd be happy to send it your way. But we are challenging everyone to read 40 books within a school year, so that averages to about a book a week. So we're really excited about it. We've connected it to AR. We're incentivizing it. And the kids are very, very excited. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback. Our AR tests are already up higher than they were at this point last year. So I have kids stopping me in the hallway telling me, you know, I've read this many books. How many books have you read? I have teachers stopping by telling me how many books they've read. We have where they can graph the genres so that we're connecting it to math and everything. So we're really excited about it.
And then with our other part of our program, our Parents as Partners, and I do have handouts for you this evening. It schedules all of our dates for the second Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. Our original one was scheduled for last week, but due to the weather, it has been rescheduled for September 27th. And I will hand those handouts to you. And then next week, we will celebrate Spirit Week because Friday is homecoming. And I also have that flyer for you so that you can see how our students will be participating. So I'll hand that out while we move on to our next slide.
JPK's +1 program, just like Ms. Lawrence said earlier, that's our Art 1 program where students will receive a high school credit. That program, and also PE 9 are high school credits. That program runs Monday through Thursday from 3 to 5 o'clock. Right now, we have an average of 40 students in that program. I talked to Ms. Lawrence today. I think we may end up adding about 8 to 10 more students. Now, with that being said, I think in this 8th grade, we have 72 students. So that's a pretty good average when you have almost 45 to 50 students involved in a +1 program. We started off with about 20. And then once we explain the program to our 8th graders, kids start recruiting kids. So, so that took it from 30 to 40, and now we're up near 50. So things are going very well with that. With the semester rotation, we have civics and science on a semester rotation because we added Spanish 1, which is another high school credit that our students will receive moving on to the high school. So with the redesign, and I know you heard Ms. Sterling in the at convocation talking about the redesign, and you've heard redesign. Our students are definitely grabbing hold to our redesign. They are excited about leaving the J.P. King with possibly with an algebra credit, which is 1 credit, with a PE 9, with an art, and also with the Spanish credit. So our 8th graders will at least move to the high school with 4 credits. Some of our 8th graders will move to the high school with 5 credits because they have Algebra 1 geometry and plus PE, art, and the Spanish. So things are going very well. Our 6th grade group, that's the cohort, they will possibly leave J.P. King with 7 to 8 credits, depending on whether you have algebra or geometry. And plus, we have some things we're going to add maybe in a year or so because we're going to have to, because we have our 6th graders taking 2 histories in 6th grade. So in the 7th grade, they'll take civics. So in the 8th grade, they need to either take World 1. So that's another credit. And also with the sciences, when they get to the 8th grade, they need earth science. So that's another high school credit. So that takes you from 4 to 7 to 8. So that means when they arrive at the high school, they are almost, what, Mr. Phelps? Juniors, sophomores, possibly?
12 credits would be you could be a junior.
Right. So at least a sophomore going into the high school. So our kids will be definitely be involved in some college courses their last two years. So that's definitely a blessing for our babies. And last but not least, I'm going to have Ms. Ruark, director of our 21st Century program, present.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Our 21st Century program will kick off on October the 1st. We are sending home permission slips tomorrow, and we will start to enroll all of our kids next week on Monday. Kids are very excited. We've already started speaking to them about some of the things that we will be offering. We have 7 staff members working with us for our program, as well as a data manager. And our focus will be specifically around math and reading for SWL purposes, as well as the enrichment portion for the cultural arts. Thank you.
Any questions?
I don't have a question, but a comment.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of progress at J.P. King in the last 3 years, but Ms. Lawrence, one of the big increases for me is the parental involvement, and I think it's really showing up. So thank you all for what you're doing over there.
Thank you for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, J.P. King. All right. Last but definitely not least, we'll have the report from Franklin High School's principal, Mr. Travis Phelps. And he's gonna bring his team. All right, I love it. I love it.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
If you don't mind, I won't call everybody out again, but good evening, everyone. I wish I had 4 people to bring with me at Franklin High School, but we're kind of bare bones at the high school, and it seems to get thinner every day. But anyway, I do have, thankfully, Miss Joan McCullough. She has been my right and left arm since we lost Mr. Carter, who's now a principal in Japan. So we wish him well across the world in Japan. You didn't know that, Grace? Yeah, okay. And I do agree with Grace that I think we're off to a great start. I think the environment is awesome. I think a lot of that has to do with Ms. McCullough. Would you agree, Grace? Definitely. Okay, good. I think she has the endorsement of our student body. I know she has my endorsement. So anyway, Ms. McCullough's here with me. I kind of wish I'd have brought Mr. Lowe also, because he's been very instrumental with our good start at Franklin High School. Okay, all right, we're still strong together. I couldn't think of anything to beat that this year, so we're going to be strong together for 2 years in a row.
That's good. That's a good one.
Open house. We had a lot of students and parents and relatives and cousins and friends attend Franklin High School for open house. These are 3 of our students with the one and only Mr. Georgie. But we did have a great attendance that day, and it got us off to a great start. The building looked awesome. A lot of our pictures are attributed to Ms. McCullough here and Ms. Bly, so appreciate that. Community Day, we kind of called our day Family Fun. We debated between Family Fun Day and Broncos Celebration. So sometimes, it depended on who you ask, it was Family Fun Day or Broncos Celebration or Community Day. We had cornhole in the courtyard. We had a DJ. We had dancing. We actually have a video of that dancing on the website if you want to check out Miss Britt and Miss Sumblin and some of our teachers having a good time. We had a volleyball game going on during Community Day in the gym. We took on Parkview that night. Unfortunately, the outcome wasn't on the Broncos side, but we had a good time. And we had district office support. Miss Burkhalter came, and is that Miss Edmond? Okay, thank you, Miss Edmond. I remember seeing Miss Burkhalter because I took a picture with her. But anyway, thank you for coming too, Miss Edmond. All right, Miss McCullough. Oh, you're gonna do that. She wants to do the grand finale because we have something that we feel like is just gonna blow everybody away. So and she worked hard at that, so she's gonna do the grand finale. All right, continue with Community Day. Again, our Lady Broncos playing volleyball in the gym. And by the way, they played Southampton tonight and played awesome, but we were playing a very good team. So Southampton won, but we played great. We had, you see, and also Miss Stratton was there from Central Office, along with Miss Atkinson. We had some community volunteers from Celebration Church do the cookout for us. And food was free. Food was donated. DJ Phil was the DJ. If you ever come to a Franklin High basketball game, he's in the corner DJing, and everywhere, every athletic and principal meeting I go to, athletic director and principal meeting I go to, we're like the envy of the district because of our DJ in the corner. So thank you, DJ Phil. He charges us $0 for doing that, and he brings in a lot of people into the gym because they like to come and hear the music. So he came and did Bronco celebration also. Want me to keep going, Ms. McCullough? Yes. Okay. All right. Bronco. This is our pep rally from the first home football game. You can see our drum line marched in. And by the way, our band is bigger in numbers this year and bigger in sound and bigger in high stepping and everything. Had a lot of school spirit, I would say, at the pep rally and won the game that night. Matter of fact, the Broncos are undefeated right now. Looking for another win tomorrow night. And speaking of tomorrow night, Coach Parker probably wouldn't want me to say this, but I will anyway. We're going to honor Coach Parker at halftime. We're going to recognize him for his 14 years of service, I believe. As head coach. 2 state championships and lots of wins. So tomorrow's going to be like Coach Parker night at halftime. So come out and see that if you can. One of the big things that at least one of our prep rallies of the year is the tug of war competition. So that's me officiating in the middle and talking trash because the teachers always win, and we won again. What we do is we let the classes pull against each other to see who gets to get beat by the teachers at the end. So that's what happened again this year. But we had a great time. All right. Now, this will be more powerful than any words I can say up here. Our first part of school. Do you want to set the tone for this? Good. Okay.
Good evening. Good evening. I would like to thank Mr. Phelps for, as soon as I joined his team, he made me feel a part of the team, as did the student body. Grace is one of my favorite personalities at Franklin High, and you are so deserving to be our student liaison. The staff is very wonderful to work with. They're hardworking staff. The students are hardworking, the student body, and I'm actually proud to be a Franklin High Bronco. Now, I want to let you in on something. About 2 weeks ago, Mr. Parker said to me, he said, "Now, Miss McCullough, don't you outdo us for this slideshow thing." And I want to say that we really did get the word that there were 4 slides. 4. Now, when J.P. King was up, you did a great job, Coach Parker, but I promise you I lost count. So what we want everyone to do is please check out our social media website. Check out our Facebook page, like our page. There is a video there and a video on the school website that actually depicts the first week of school, where we had our student meetings. And if we may have about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yes, thank you, Ms. Sterling. I really appreciate it. So, Ms. Harris, if you'll play that now, and then we'll be done.
William
School is going great. I'm enjoying my classes. I have physics this semester, I have geometry part A, and I have Avid 2 and economics and personal finance, and those classes are going very, very well.
That's an unexcused parenthood. It doesn't mean that we're mad at anybody. It just means we can't excuse that absence. But thank you for telling us about it.
In a perfect world, we'd like for you all to actually collect the money and give it to us. And that will keep down traffic in the hallways and children will stay in class versus, okay?
So we just want to give you a little peek inside of Franklin High School. And thank you, Ms. McCullough, for putting that together. Any questions for us?
I told Joan this once, and I'll tell her again in front of the board that video convocation was phenomenal.
Yes.
It really was. Thank you.
This was amazing. Awesome. Very nice.
All right, thank you. Okay, we have 2 foreign exchange students this year. We're proud of that because not only is it a great experience for them, but it's a great experience for our students to experience getting to know someone from Germany. We have Leon Otto from Germany, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce yet Roberto